Hi beauties, welcome to my channel if you're new, and if you are not, welcome back. Today we are going to be getting ready using the Jaclyn Hill palette. As you can see, my face is clean and ready to use this Hey Honey Good Morning Silk Facial Serum that I will be using as my moisturizer, one of my go-tos lately, just because I like the way my face feels when I apply this. Very smooth. Once I'm done with this, I will be going in with the 111 Skin Space Defense Bright Eye Lift Gel. And this is just something that you apply underneath each eye just to brighten it up and avoid some of the creasing that can be caused by the concealer if your under eye is too dry. Once I'm done with that, we will be going in with the It Bye Bye Pores Translucent Powder. This is It Cosmetics. And yes, I am going with the translucent powder in first. This is a technique that I learned from Wayne Goss and I like a lot. Now we will be applying the It Cosmetics Confidence in a Compact Medium Tan. This is the color or tone that I am using right now. I feel fits better. And now I am applying it with the sponge it comes with all over my face. And once I'm done with the application, I'm going in with this beauty sponge from Basic Beauty that I found at the 99-cent store. Yes, for $1, and it blends quite well. Once I'm done with all that blending, I'm going in with It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Concealer. This is an anti-aging concealer that I will be applying with this Wet n Wild small flat brush, applying it in a triangular shape underneath each eye and around my nasal area. Once I'm done with the application, again with that beauty sponge, I am blending it all in. Once the blending is done, I'm going back in with the beauty sponge with the It Cosmetics translucent powder to make sure I set and bake the under eye. Once I am done with the baking, I will go over with this complexion brush by e.l.f. Just brushing off all the excess and then setting the rest of my face. Now the Bobbi Brown Bronzer Medium 2 is what I'll be using to give this little pale face of mine a little bit of some tannish color around the cheek areas and the forehead. Okay, now that I'm done here, we're going to go in with this City Color Contour Palette. The darkest tone there is the one that I'm going to be using to contour my cheeks and my forehead area, close to the temporal but not all the way. And I'm using this brush here, which I consider a medium-sized brush, not too fluffy, not too flat, but just enough to do the application on um, both sides of my face, right underneath the cheek area, and of course my forehead. Now once that I'm done with the application of the forehead and the cheeks, I do go in here into the nasal area on both sides, bringing just a line straight down to give my nose some definition. And now with the complexion brush e.l.f., blending it all in. Blending it all in. Now I go in with the Smashbox Spotlight palette. Here in this palette, I will be using the lightest tone in the palette to do my highlighting. The highlighting today is not going to be anything drastic, but just enough to brighten that area under the eye and the top cheek. Highlighting is done, and now we're going in with the blush, Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush Feisty, another one of my go-tos lately, and I will be applying it with the crown brush that I used to apply the bronzer. Just giving my cheeks a little bit of a rosy shade there. And now we're going to the Jaclyn Hill palette. The first color that I'll be using is called Creamsicle. Creamsicle will be applied as my transition shade. It is a darker shade for a transition shade, but I just like the way it looks, and I will be applying it with this brush here that is a Tarte blending brush. It's a smaller blending brush, but big enough to blend in all that shade on each eye. And as you can see, circular motions on the end of the eye and then sweeping it in and out, in and out. Now I'm going to go in with this color here, which is called Pukey. And yes, it's called Pukey. I like this color a lot, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the name, but I like the way it looks. It gives that crease a little bit of definition, not too dark, not too light, but enough to define. Now we're going to go in with the color right underneath Pukey, which is Roxanne. Roxanne has a darker tone, but getting into more of a reddish tone. Clay, I guess you can say. And again, circular motions on the end and then sweeping in and out, starting to show more depth at the end of those eyes. And the darker tones are showing. Now we are going to go in with the color right next to Pukey, which is Hunts. And Hunts is definitely more on the reddish tone, still clay, but definitely more reddish. And again, as you can see, giving the end of my eyes more depth. Now we're going to go in with this Luxie brush 231. This is a crease brush, and we will be going in with the color Chip. What I'm going to be doing with this color here is applying it at the end, the corner of my eye, and then bringing the leftover to about 3/4 of my eye right there, giving my eyes more of a smoky look right there at the end. Still trying to keep the reddish tones. Now I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, and we are going in with Cran Apple. Cran Apple does have some shimmer to it, but I'm not applying too much. It's just to bring those rosy tones out. So applying it on my lid, nothing excessive. And once I'm done with that, I'm going in with another e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, and we are going in with the color Queen. between, I am applying right in the middle to give this shade a pop, but not too much where I am diminishing the rosy tones. Now I'm going in with this blending brush here, and we are using the color Beam to highlight the eyebrow bone. And now I am going in with Roxanne underneath my eye just to combine the colors of my upper eye and under eye together. I did use some of the Jaclyn chip to give that under eye a connecting look. Now I'm going in with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I am not using eyeliner today, but just not to be completely bare, I will use this mascara and it works great. So there you have it. And as you can see here, this is the end of the day with the Jaclyn Hill palette eyeshadow still looking great. I do have some lip gloss on, but there you go. Bye bye now. I will see you next time.